Definitely not a video I wanted to make anytime soon, let alone the circumstance of the matter here. What's going on, everyone? So as you could tell by the title of today's video here, it is game over for my 2008 Subaru Legacy GT. I have decided I am going to be walking away from this car and moving on to something else. So let me explain. So where do I even begin? I guess the most sense will be taking it back from the beginning and working up to now. So the car has never run 100% since I've had it up until now. I would say maybe 85–90% it's got every once in a while here or there. But basically, I bought this car. It was a used car, a used Subaru Turbo for that fact, over 100,000 miles. So if you are not aware, any Subaru Turbo, you're gonna have problems with. Just be aware that it is going to be a money pit. Whether the car has 60,000 miles, 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles. Just be prepared, and this isn't to anyone that doesn't have a Subaru Turbo. This isn't at all in any way to discourage you or not go forward with that purchase. This is not what that is for at all. Just please be aware that it could be a money pit, these type of cars. So when I picked up the car, it was running pretty good. No real evident problems at that time. Then put on a Cobb SF short ram intake. So if you have been following the Subaru for a little while, you do know that it was quite some time for us to figure out and get everything addressed, which was the boost leak issue, the MAF sensor. We were having some sputtering, some hesitation issues under boost, which you can go online, search on the forums, go through a bunch of threads and find out what everyone's saying about what this could be, what that could be. It could be 12 things, it could be 15 things, it could be a real headache on there. But finally, push came to shove. We went up to EFI Logics out in Bethel, Connecticut, and got everything addressed. It ended up being the throttle body coupler was folding out on itself, the bypass valve kept blowing off under boost, and the MAF sensor was bad. So we took care of that, and for a little while, just with that Cobb SF intake and then also the Cobb access port, we were running pretty good for a while. I would rather just get a tune rather than just relying on that Cobb access port tune, whether it's for an intake and exhaust, and there's really no way to really pair up. You're just going stage 1 or stage 2. Well, what if you have an SF intake or a different type of intake, and then all exhaust could be different as well. So I just really wasn't too keen on that, but anyways, I don't want to go off on a tangent on that. Then we ended up bringing a 3-inch catback exhaust into play. It was the Gimmick Motorsports. Right after putting that exhaust on, we finally got a little bit of that nice Subaru rumble, and I was like, damn, I really need more of this, and had some more plans for some sound, some performance for the car. But anyways, with the intake, the exhaust, and the access port, we were running pretty good for quite some time. And then the first big fiasco came into play on our way home from Wicked Big Meat, where basically I had to get my car towed home. Wicked Big Meat was about 3 hours or so away. So I was about 30 minutes away from home. Our car broke down, I had to get it towed. Long story short, the left intake cam was stuck at 25. It was sludged up, had to get that taken out, all cleaned up. Flushed the hell out of the engine so many times. Then I ended up replacing the turbo. And then at that time I was like, screw it, why not? Let's put an NVIDIA catalyst downpipe to really open up everything. And then I also put on an ASIN timing belt and water pump kit, replaced the oil seals, got all that done. And that set me back quite some money. So that was the first big fiasco that came into play. And then a couple months down the road, which brings us close to this time period now, I was always having like a 3rd gear and 5th gear like synchro whine, which was no big deal. It was, but I was gonna maybe replace the clutch sometime in the future and then just open up the transmission and get that done at that time, because if you're opening up the transmission, you might as well replace the clutch with it. So things started to get a little louder, pretty damn quick. Basically my 3rd gear bearing is shot. I now have whining in a good amount of my gears, and when I drop into either shift or drop down into 3rd, it is so cringeworthy. I think I have a clip here on my phone. My car is drivable right now. I'm not going to drive it, get in the car and do whatever right now, but I do believe I have a video clip. We'll play that right here for you guys so you can hear it. It's very, very cringy. We're going to slow down here and drop it into third. Well, let's drop it into second quickly, and then we'll gradually get into third. So we're in second, and then going into third. So when I let off the gas and then accelerate, and I was like, holy crap, what the hell? So I pulled up back into my driveway and found out that, I don't know how, but my CV boot, my axle boot, was completely ripped. All the friggin' sludge oil was like gone. There's nothing friggin' even out on my driveway. So it had to be leaking for a little time. I didn't really feel it or notice. So I stuck my finger right through the boot into the axle joint. I was able to move, because it was broken, that joint. I was able to move and hear a metal clunking. So I was like, hey, let's hope to God and hope that's it. So I ended up having my friend help me out and replace that axle boot, the axle, and basically that was not it at all. That really put me back, and I was like, shit. My third gear transmission bearing is shot. My synchros need to obviously probably be replaced. Believe me, I do love this car as much as a pain in the ass that it is all the time. I really don't want to get rid of it, but let's get to the end. I am walking away. But anyways, I was for a couple of weeks really on the, am I going to rebuild the transmission, or am I going to swap out a used transmission into this car? Well, the offset cost here of swapping out a used transmission into mine versus rebuilding mine, the costs are pretty much going to be close, and the risk with getting somebody else's used transmission, you have no idea what's going to happen, regardless of, oh, you got a 6-month or a 1-year warranty. There's too much risk in that game. I was really looking at it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to bite it and basically rebuild the transmission probably. And then the final fiasco, icing on the cake, I was looking under my car in my driveway a couple days after that, just messing around with a couple things, seeing what was going on, and there's some oil. And what does that mean with the famous Subarus? Well, my head gasket is on its way out, and I'm not overheating right now. The fluids, nothing's mixed. I'm not leaking or losing oil like crazy, but I'm losing oil. It's there, and the head gasket needs to be replaced. I've just thrown so much money into this car. I'm sure not only Turbo Subaru people, but car enthusiasts in general, you know about throwing money into your cars. And at this point, after the money I've spent, invested in this car, that is not really an investment. Sucks. It's a learning thing, but anyway, shit happens sometimes. So I'm just not looking to put in that money to fix the car after everything else that I put into the car. So that is when I made the final decision here of game over and moving on to another car. I really, like I said before, I really love this car. I really wish it did not come to this. So the car is up for sale. It is being sold as is. Please don't hit me up asking me to part out with some of my aftermarket parts. Everything's staying on there. It's being sold as is. I'm not giving away the car here. I'm not selling this car for less than what it would be of a blown motor or even that. I'm not asking a ton of money here, but after fixing, I really hope that this car goes to somebody who's really going to enjoy this car. Really, like, this is what they want. You know what you're getting into. I just went over everything about the car, what I've done, what I've put into it, and the two major problems that need to be addressed. So the transmission obviously needs to be opened up, bearing synchros, and then the head gasket does need to be replaced. So those two things. So once you do those two things, the car will be back up and running and a blast to drive. So again, if you are interested, definitely hit me up on my Instagram right here at Staggered Horizons. Please don't lowball me and say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for your car, because that's not going to happen. I will sit here and have my Subaru here as a lawn ornament than to give it away for $1,000. Again, I'm not asking a ton. We'll talk. If you are interested, again, hit me up. Either hit me up here or hit me up on Instagram, and we'll definitely talk. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed here. I've been gone from the channel for a little while with work, with this, with a couple other things going on, and it's just been quite that time right now. So I am back. We will be making a ton of videos, and with a negative, we will be bringing positive into this. I will be bringing a new car to the channel here right after Christmas, so definitely stay tuned for that. I am super excited. As depressing as this situation is, we're moving on to something else. We're gonna turn this into a positive, have some much needed fun. And I hope you guys, all you Subaru people, stick around to the channel because we have a lot coming. And again, if you are stopping by for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, please slap that like button. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Take care.